answering your questions about retirement. It's Money Talk with Michael Eastham.
If I want to invest for income, why can't I just use municipal bond funds, corporate bond funds, and value stock funds? Doesn't that give me more diversification?
All right, well, it's nice to think that way, but I really have to say it really depends on how much money you have. Do you have a larger amount of money or do you have a small amount of money? If you have a small amount of money, then diversifying through an actively managed portfolio of individual securities might not be a real efficient way for you to invest. And if that's the case, well, then using municipal bond funds, traditional corporate bond funds, and value stocks may be a good way to go, or value stock funds might be a good way to go because those inherently provide internal diversification, but they also provide additional fees. So if you don't have a whole lot of money, then using those funds can give you some diversification. However, if you've got a reasonable amount of money, and when I say a reasonable amount of money, I really mean in excess of $250,000 or so, then you've got the ability to diversify using actively managed portfolios in individual securities. So if we include corporate bonds, then we use individual bonds. If we use value stocks, we use individual value stocks, not the funds. Because that gives you much more control over the portfolio. And as I've said before, one of the biggest difference between a bond fund and individual bonds is the fact that with an individual bond, you have those two all-important contracts. A contract for interest and dividend, or interest, that's income, and a contract for your principal. When the bond matures, you get your money back. Those are two very important contracts that you don't have inside of a mutual fund. And that includes municipal bond funds and bond funds as well. You don't have those guarantees. You've got to make sure that you've got your allocation set up appropriately based on your risk level, based on the types of assets that you have, and of course based on the quantity of assets and the income level that you need. We can help you with that. I'd love to talk to you further to make sure that you're not you're not just trying to establish simplicity on one side of the fence, but giving up security and confidence in the form of reliable interest and dividends and income stream on the other side. Thanks so much for that question.
If you've got a financial question you'd like to have answered, click on the link below to submit your question. You may hear your answer on an upcoming edition of Money Talk.